Nikola Tesla taught us that if you want to find the secrets of the universe, you must think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. As the chosen ones, the spiritual mandate for the Jewish people right now is not to fight external enemies, but to bravely pass their own internal test of equality. They must treat all parts of their collective soul, Sephardic and Ashkenazi alike, with equal love, face their own internal mirror, and alchemize their collective self-hate into radical self-love to stop the cycle of global projection. My intuition encourages Jews as the chosen ones to take the lead on how to transform self-hate into self-love, leading to the creation of heaven on earth globally for us all. Since changing the world is an inside job, let's start with the inside of Israel. My ex-husband is Israeli, so my legal last name is Buzoglu. Carrying that name means carrying a deep, historical, spiritual mantle. My ex-husband's great-grandfather was Rabbi Shlomo Buzoglu, who served as the top Sephardic rabbi and head of the rabbinical courts in Haifa in the early 1900s. The Buzoglus are Sephardic Jews whose ancestors were ruthlessly exiled from Spain during the Spanish Inquisition in 1492. Many fled to Catalonia, heavily integrating with philosophy, secular culture, and the early Christian Cathars who practiced the literal way of love, which leaned on Mary Magdalene's teachings. The Cathars secretly believed that Jesus and Mary Magdalene were married, producing a child named Sarah. Yet, when Sephardic and Ashkenazi Jews met in modern Israel, a massive internal shadow was exposed. For generations, the dominant Ashkenazi establishment has looked down upon, marginalized, and discriminated against the Sephardic Buzoglu lineage, treating them with a self-identified religious superiority. This prejudice became so institutionalized that the name Buzoglu became the literal cultural lightning rod for systemic inequality. In the 1980s, the Israeli government created the Buzoglu test to locate evidence of these systemic inequalities in their education system. When identical Scantron tests were administered, students bearing the Sephardic name Buzoglu would routinely see their scores capped at 80%, while Ashkenazi students turning in the exact same answers were awarded 100%. It was a rigged framework designed to keep the Sephardic lineage mathematically and socially subordinate. The ruling class did not create a law out of benevolence. Their institutionalized bias forced a reality where an ordinary Buzoglu had to work twice as hard to be seen as equal. Through this raw history, through the legacy of Rabbi Shlomo Buzoglu, and through watching these generational barriers play out, I understand collective Jewish self-hate and systemic discrimination at a deep, personal level. I carry this name through my marriage to an Israeli man who I met in Tibet back in 1993, an incredible synchronicity that occurred just 2 weeks after he was present in Beijing for Yitzhak Rabin's historic Sino-Israeli meeting. While in Tibet, he told me that he was in the Israeli Defense Force, IDF, Special Forces, and couldn't discuss his IDF activities for 30 years. He probably was part of the Israeli security team that escorted Rabin to Beijing. I am releasing this entire blueprint in profound honor of a major historical milestone, the 30th anniversary of the assassination of Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin. Rabin was a man who knew the complex, agonizing cost of trying to bridge deep divides. He championed the concept of hafrada, or permanent separation, to secure a peaceful future. But his wedding gift to our collective mirror was heavy. Rabin was assassinated 2 months after my wedding, and my ex-husband was devastated. His life was cut short on November 4th, 1995, not by an outside enemy, but by an unhealed shadow from within his own community, a religious conservative Israeli man. His tragedy proves that internal friction is the ultimate destroyer of peace. The pain of this conflict lives directly in my own living room. My children's cousins have all served in the IDF, and on October 7th, 2023, my own niece stood at that music festival in Israel, watching nearly 10 of her closest friends get slaughtered right in front of her own eyes. The universe operates as a flawless mirror. What we carry in our subconscious is exactly what we project outward and attract back into our physical reality.